What up, everybody? Welcome back. As you can see, we have our cylinder head here with our bent valve, and you know what? We should have did a compression check to see if the motor was healthy when I first got it. I just assumed something different happened than what actually happened, and now we got a messed up cylinder head, but it's okay. Amazon coming in clutch. It's a little head kit, so it comes with some gaskets. It also comes with valves and valve springs, so 5 valves for a 5-valve head. Some valve springs, some retainers. These are the seals. These are the seals. And then I also bought a cheap timing chain as well, assuming that our tensioner is correct. We're about to find out today. It's been a while since the last upload, but it is Christmas time, so I hope you guys are all enjoying your Christmas. And big things are coming for the new year. Let's get started. I actually got this cheap compressor tool. Oh my god, look how dirty it is. A couple years ago, it's worked awesome ever since. I used it for the 2JZ. It actually barely fit. And I think it was made for something more like this, where it's small engine application. Works awesome. What size do we need here? Probably, just going by my eyeball here, probably 25, maybe? Oh, too small. That's the one. Don't lose the keepers, because I don't know if new ones come with some. And there's our first valve and spring. Only 4 more to go. This is way easier than LS stuff. That thing has like a jillion. Our bendy one actually seems to be stuck in the guide a little tiny bit. Hopefully we can just tap it out. Yep. That is a bendy valve. One of these things is not like the other. It's the middle. If you can't, it's the middle one if you can't. It's bended that way. I mean, for the most part, it looks like our valve seats are not bad. We should be able to lap some new valves in there pretty easy. We gotta get off this head gasket junk and change out our valve seals. I think the bases actually come out to spring seats. Yeah. Danny boy came over for some assistance. The creeper mustache isn't so bad now because you got some scruff to go with it. Managed to clean up the head, cleaned out all the carbon in it too, and a bit of like the ports, cleaned out some of that. And this side still a bit dirty, but we have to lap the valves now, so we'll get our new valves, put them in here, some lapping compound, do the thingamajiggy with the thingy, and then Dan also cleaned off the engine over there, so we're ready for gaskets. Ooh, shiny. These ones are, the exhaust ones are slightly bigger around the faces, but they're slightly shorter, which makes sense. All right, this is how we're gonna do it. Bit of oil on the valve. If there's any oil in this thing. There's not, okay. Some valve grinding compound on the backside. Stick this majiggy on there. And it doesn't want to spin. Nice. I know. Might take a while. Okay, I've never done it this way. I don't know if that's my drill, but I've seen a lot of people do it this way. And since it's just a shit ATV engine, a better way to learn. Looks like it's lapped in the right spot. And all our valves lapped. Moving on now, we gotta pull the valve seals out, and I think these are shims for the springs. Dan's over here taking our intake manifold. It was we thought it was pretty leaky because my flanges were a little warped. He's gonna take that apart and then surface it on this piece because we got some new belts, some brand new Amazon belts, the good kind. They were 19 bucks actually for a set of 5, so not 8 bucks.
They're only $4 though. So
yeah, only $4 each.
Two for $8 though.
So they're a decent kind then. I can't tell you guys how cold it is in here because the heater barely keeps up, and we've had the garage door open a couple times. But it's minus like 25 degrees Celsius outside. I like telling you guys the temperature. I'm like your daily weatherman, but I upload weekly, so. There we go.
Do you want me to turn that or?
That's fine. Oh, a little build station getting a little cramped here now. All right, look how shiny and nice that is. All our new valves. It came with new springs. I did realize that there are stiffer springs on the exhaust valves than there are on the intake valves, so I made sure those were in the right spot. Now it's time to mate up our head with the block. We got it all cleaned off. We'll put the head gasket on there, and then we'll reuse our head bolts, which I know you're not supposed to do, but we're gonna do because head bolts. Danny boy, it's torqued down. We got our new chain, feed that through. Then we can put our camshaft in and hopefully time it, because that's the tough part. There's our camshaft, yep. That's actually a decompression thing. Help it decompress for easier starting, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely haven't got a clue, but we're learning. It's kind of cool. Like the stuff that's in this engine is kind of cool. I like it. Danny boy's having a go at it now, and then after he fails, I'm gonna have a go at it, and after I fail, he's gonna have another go at it.
Another go at it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. It's fun.
Learning.
Yeah. The timing part I knew was gonna be the worst part of this. So I believe we have it lined up here where this dot right there and that dot right there are lined up with the head, and then this dot down here is lined up with this pointer down there. It is slightly past a little bit, but this dot is actually slightly past too, so if we rotate it back a little bit, it's going to be lined up. See if that tensioner fits in here now, and then bolt down our cam caps and the other bolt for this cam. Get the valve set. So, Danny boy is going to bolt our tensioner on here.
Yep.
That was his plan. Mm-hmm. The chain, remember the old chain with no tensioner in it? Or I mean, with a tensioner in it? This is with no tensioner right now. It's like solid. So the chain was definitely stretched, the old one.
Wow.
It's tight on there already?
Yeah.
Good.
Like, maybe, can I get that back another click, I wonder?
Here goes nothing, Danny boy. Here goes nothing.
Something. Here goes something. Now that we got it flipped around the right way,
Yeah, the right way.
it's still snug.
It is definitely snug, but it's better than how loose it was last time, so I am not complaining.
I like a tight fit.
Wow. We went there.
Had to.
Oh, yeah, lube them up. Probably could have lubed the journals too. On there. That's the exhaust side, which is towards me. The cam cover. It will go on.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna. We're have to pull the cam down with it, I think. It's not heavy, anyways. Like pull it down. Like I'm not forcing it down.
No.
Didn't adjust any of the valves yet, but we put everything in. This piece is torqued down. We're just gonna spin it over and see what happens, I guess. We should hear compressions this time. There's no spark plug in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Intake valves are opened. Exhaust valves.
The main point is to not run into resistance and bend said valves.
They open pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm super happy with that. That was like, we got to learn a new thing today too. So we'll go past. We're gonna adjust the valves now. I'm gonna go past the intake valves. There. And we'll adjust the intake valves. I know some of them are actually looser than the other ones, and I don't know the spec on it, so adjust the intake valves, spin it over, adjust the exhaust valves, and then it's ready to go back in. All right, we did it. Look at this.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's back together. The valves are adjusted. We did 7 thou on the exhaust side and 5 on the intake. Or 4 on the intake, I think. 4 on the intake, 5, 7 on the exhaust. It was pretty straightforward, actually. You just kind of back off the bolt and adjust it. But look at it. It's a thing now. I have to come back out here after, put the balancer and the case on and our crank sensor, and once that's back on, we can put it back in here, hook up all our EFI stuff again, and try test firing it. And I think we're gonna try and test fire this video instead of making another video. I know it's been late for this one, but New Year's coming. All right, it's the next day. It's actually Christmas right now, so Merry Christmas to you. And where are you from? Make sure you like the channel and subscribe. Before we put the engine in, it's over there. Dan's actually gonna come over and help me. Before we put it in, I'm gonna get some welding done in here on stuff that's underneath the engine and I won't be able to get to afterwards. Stuff like our engine mounts, this bearing for the steering right there, the bearing in the backside, that engine mount in the front of these pipes, and those pipes right there. So I'm just gonna get in here a little bit, dive down, do a little bit of welding, and then we'll put the engine in after. I'm gonna pull the front off too. There we go, most of the top side stuff all welded up. Time to put our clutch and everything back on the engine, get the side case back on, our crank sensor in, and then we'll take that, implant it into here. Everybody loves implants, man. About to show off my big gym muscles now. Actually, I almost did a 500-pound deadlift, so this should be light, but probably not. I'm gonna manhandle that over there, Kyle handle, because Kyle's a man, and then put it in here. In one movement. I hope. That's the plan. Almost tumbled it. All right, Dan's our engine's in, and Dan's putting on silicone like a little princess here with this screwdriver.
This is not a gasket.
Usually I just put it on my finger and jam it around because I'm a man, but Dan does it this way apparently.
It's Christmas, so I don't want to get dirty.
I'm gonna start putting the wiring together all raggedy ass again, put the exhaust manifold on, and we'll go from there, I guess. All right, we had everything hooked up, ready to go, and just to try it, I tried to put the old sensor back in. It did not work, for the record. So we're gonna pull this out, pull the cover off, put our other sensor back in that we know works, that I should have just kept in there, but this one, like, clearance is so much better. And then put it back together, try it again. Actually, we spun the motor over a couple times. It sounds a lot better. It sounds like it has compression this time.
Oh, there's compressions.
Yeah, it sounds better. All right, new sensor's in. We'll grab the fire extinguisher and we'll try this out, I guess.
Yeah,
put the camera right here, and it's gonna catch all our glories and fails. Why is it not working now? Why is the crank signal not working anymore? We didn't change anything. You wanna crank it for a second? Just so we're on the missing tooth right now. So. I just wanted to try that one.
What?
No, it didn't work. Okay. All right. Well, I've been out here for a couple hours now trying to figure out why we don't have any RPM signal going to the computer. I didn't change anything. Our sensor's still the same in here. I wired it up all the same as last time. It had the same amount of gap. Did I cook that little ECU? Is there a way I can check it without an oscilloscope because I don't have one of those? But it's been one of these weird projects where it's like obstacle, overcome, obstacle, overcome, obstacle, overcome. So now I have to figure out a solution to this thing. I don't know if I should just buy another sensor or figure something out that's different with this one. I definitely have some tinkering to do to figure this thing out. It's been a struggle. We have the motor back together. It sounds a lot better. It sounds like there's actually compressions in it now. More than one. There's more than one compressions. Also, if anybody has any recommendations on a oil pump for the feed to the turbo. I think I want to do a remote reservoir where the oil comes from the turbo into this reservoir and then we just feed the oil from that reservoir back into the turbo. So if anybody has suggestions for a pump for that, that's fairly cheap. It only needs to be like, what, 7, 8, 9 pounds of oil pressure going to that turbo. It's just a little small thing. Right there. Just a little small thing. I know all about the small things. I can see my mullet hanging down too. I need to get it cut. Gene has been calling me Yammy, like Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z, because he's got the long flowing hair too. Anyways, Merry Christmas to y'all. Peace easy. Good, Debbie?